In a world obsessed with productivity and speed, it's easy to confuse movement with progress. But without direction, even the fastest runner gets lost. What if the answer isn't to run harder, but to stop, reflect, and think strategically? Many lives are lived on autopilot. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat, for years, sometimes decades. Until one day, something cracks, a burnout, a breakup, a crisis of meaning. The problem isn't laziness or lack of ambition, it's a lack of strategy. Life planning isn't just for CEOs or military generals. It's a tool for anyone who wants to move from chaos to clarity, from existing to truly living. Friedrich Nietzsche says, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Have you ever felt like you're living reactively rather than intentionally? Mark was in his mid-30s, burnt out and directionless. His job felt meaningless. His relationships were shallow. Every day blurred into the next. He wasn't unhappy, just numb. One night, after another argument with his partner, he left the house and walked aimlessly for hours. At 2 a.m., sitting on a park bench, he scrolled his phone and stumbled on a blog post titled, "Designing Your Life, Thinking Like a Strategist." Something about the phrase hit him. Not fixing your life, not hacking it, but designing it on purpose. He started reading more. A friend mentioned a book on strategic thinking. Another introduced him to Stoic philosophy. Over weeks, then months, Mark began applying strategic frameworks to his life. Values mapping, long-term visioning, scenario planning. Slowly, clarity emerged. He wasn't just reacting anymore, he was building. Modern life is full of noise. Constant notifications, infinite choices, endless distractions. The result? Mental clutter, decision fatigue, a chronic inability to pause and ask, "Where am I going?" When we don't choose our direction, others choose it for us, through advertising, social pressure, or unconscious habit. Seneca says, "If a man does not know to what port he is sailing, no wind is favorable." Strategic thinking begins by recognizing the chaos, not as failure, but as a signal. It means noticing the fog and choosing to look for a compass. What parts of your life feel chaotic, and do you know why? Modern society thrives on urgency. Emails marked ASAP, notifications demanding attention. A culture of hustle that celebrates being busy even when nothing meaningful is getting done. This creates a false sense of importance, where everything feels urgent but nothing is truly important. Social media, advertising, and even workplace dynamics are designed to keep attention fragmented. Why? Because distracted individuals are easier to influence, consume more, and rarely question deeper purpose. Strategic thinking requires a shift from this reactive mindset. It asks, is this truly important, or is it just loud? Socrates said, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life." Escaping the illusion of urgency doesn't mean doing less, it means doing what matters. How often do you mistake urgency for importance, and what would happen if you stopped chasing what's loud? Strategic thinking isn't just logic. It's the ability to zoom out, to see connections, to anticipate consequences, and to align short-term action with long-term vision. In life, it means knowing what matters, your values, clarifying where you're going, your vision, mapping how to get there, your plan, adapting along the way, your feedback loop. It's not rigid, it's responsive, it's not cold, it's conscious. Lao Tzu once said, "If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading." Strategic thinking is changing direction intentionally. When was the last time you paused to think about where your current path is really leading? Philosophy, at its core, is strategic thought applied to existence. The Stoics believed in preparing for adversity, reflecting daily, and living according to nature. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strategic thinking starts from that same place, the power of awareness and intentionality. Meanwhile, modern thinkers like Viktor Frankl emphasized meaning as the compass for life direction. Strategic planning isn't just about goals, it's about meaning. Without it, even success feels hollow. Do you know what principles guide your decisions, or are you still figuring them out? Where is your time going? What's draining you? What energizes you? Define your North Star. What kind of life do you actually want? Write it. Visualize it. Map your milestones. Break big dreams into small, actionable steps. Quarterly goals, weekly habits. Anticipate obstacles. What could go wrong? Prepare mentally, not fearfully, but wisely. Every month, check your compass. Are you drifting? Realign. These aren't rigid blueprints, they're living maps. George S. Patton said, "A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow." What's one small change you could make this week to move toward more clarity? The conclusion is from chaos to conscious living. The opposite of chaos isn't control, it's clarity. Strategic thinking doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it replaces helpless drifting with purposeful movement. It asks us to stop living by default and to start living by design. This doesn't mean controlling every outcome. It means choosing how we respond, what we pursue, and who we become. So the real question is not, what should I do with my life? But rather, how do I want to live, and what choices will move me in that direction? What would your life look like if it was guided by intention instead of reaction?